Hello, welcome to the Friday afternoon edition of the Geoff Fienberg Show here on FTNDaily.com, presented by Prize Picks. Use the promo code FTN for 100% instant match bonus up to $100 on your first deposit at Prize Picks. No mass multi-entries, just you versus the projection. I like making my multi-sport power plays over there. Golfers, little NFL action. When I'm feeling real arrogant, I'll find out what the UFC fights for the weekend are to get real cocky with the power plays. But I'll have an all NFL one for you later. But mostly on this show, we are going to break down Week 11 in the National Football League. I'll continue to look at those point spreads. A lot of interesting stories in the NFL and a lot of point spreads moving today, at least since I recorded the show with Mayo earlier in the week, and live look at the RSM Classic leaderboard. To no one's surprise, we knew it would be probably a bit of a gas can week, and the gas can stepping up currently at the moment is Robert Streb, who is through 17 holes on the Plantation course. And as the message most of you golf guys have been getting this weekend is, the shot trails are not available on this course. Good thing we'll be out of there by the end of the day. And like most multi-course events, I despise them. I find them really annoying. They're hard to track, although they do give you some potential betting opportunities, as I know a lot of people were getting on Streb at some real big numbers live yesterday because of his strong round at the Seaside course, with a chance to play Plantation today. Not really. I mean, I guess you could say Robert Streb leading is definitely a surprise, but I felt like we kind of knew a few of these guys from the back would have fantastic weeks, and it's set up for them. So to throw your darts, to me, the bigger surprise was whatever happened yesterday in the RSM Classic. How difficult it seemed to be scoring on the Plantation course, that we did not get around like this anywhere. Continuing down, Burgoon Malnati, four back of Streb, who has turned his lead into a four-shot lead. English and Camilo Villegas, who and Matt Wallace had sitting in that top five right now. Everybody out on the golf course. One of the first completed rounds I am seeing a 7 under 63 from Neesmith this week. Quite a popular tout pick this week for some top fives and top placing action. So that one, I guess, going to form. I'll keep an eye on this leaderboard as we go, throughout the show. It's a gas can event. It is what it is. You're excited if you got your Streb tickets, but I don't know. Anything feels possible there on the weekend. And once we can get everybody off the multi-course split, I feel like that leaderboard will flip easily. Harris English, clearly the class of players near the top of the leaderboard, as many of them have struggled this week to score. Webb Simpson, Ty Hatton, Sung J M, just to name a few, although I did see Jason Day showing some life. So as I said, I'll bounce back and forth over to there, but this feels like a real jobber weekend in store. The good stories would clearly be Villegas. I would cry for that one. We lost his kid not too long ago. Young girl's terribly sad story. Life just throws. You think a pandemic's bad, and there's all sorts of sad. Could be far worse. And Harris English, not to compare him and Camilo Villegas in any stretch of the word, but it would be nice to see Harris win and his consistent play be rewarded in 2020. He could have won a big FedEx Cup event if not for DJ's insane heater. But DJ did that to a lot of people this year, and he's got a green jacket to show for it. I'll take your questions in both chats, both on the FTN Daily, live on the Twitter stream, which I have tweeted out, and I will try to retweet again, but retweet that out for me. That'd be greatly appreciated. Get your questions in there. Anything NFL Week 11 action, what have you. Happy to break down with you in this one. Well, should have loaded that one accordingly. Nonetheless, we could start quickly. I'll give my 2 cents on the. I'm a big Jameis Winston fan. I thought he got a raw deal in Tampa when you consider that every quarterback their first year under Bruce Arians had the most interceptions they ever had in their career. Ben Roethlisberger, Carson Palmer. I even want to say Peyton Manning. Your first year with Bruce Arians, you're going to throw interceptions. So what did Jameis do last year? Well, he threw a hell of a lot of touchdowns. He also threw lots of interceptions. Before Bruce Arians got in there, he was interception-prone quarterback. And then you bring in a coach who has a propensity to make quarterbacks throw more interceptions than they historically do, at least as they're getting to know each other. And that's exactly what Jameis did. I mean, putting Jameis Winston, letting Bruce Arians coach him is essentially like putting a chocolate cake in front of me and then being upset that I ate it. Well, of course I'm going to eat it. Of course Jameis is going to throw picks. Yeah, under normal circumstances, I'd eat a couple slices. The fact that y'all left the room, I'll eat the whole thing. Under normal circumstances, Jameis would throw a few interceptions, a lot of interceptions. With Bruce Arians, he's going to throw a shitload of them. And they make a decision. They have a football decision to make. They go with Brady. It's working for them. That's fine. That's great. I don't really besmirch them. And, it's hard to, especially you see what's going on in New Orleans right now. You threw that many yards, you threw that many touchdowns, but your arrow is going down that hard. You'd still think there was something there. So that kind of did shock me. I mean, I just made my rant in defending Jameis, even at his point last year that cost him his job in Tampa Bay. And then he goes to New Orleans. He takes an incredibly team-friendly deal. And he's not even afforded the opportunity to start when Breeze can't play. You keep Taysom Hill. You have your Taysom Hill booklet. You make it 2-3 times bigger than it would in a normal Breeze game. It makes total sense. But to not have Breeze play whatsoever, not to have Jameis be playing whatsoever, I don't understand that. And I like Sean Payton. But I think Jameis is getting a raw deal. And he's getting such a raw deal that when he signed in New Orleans, a lot of people like myself who when he signed in New Orleans, a lot of people like myself who thought, okay, even if he doesn't see the field, by osmosis, like just being there for a year, being just a good teammate, having words come out that he was a responsible backup quarterback, I believe that would be beneficial. But now there's an opportunity for a quarterback to play, and he's not even afforded that opportunity. Man. Oh, man. That's not good. I believe it's like a 1-year really cheap deal. But I don't think this instills any confidence in any sort of Jameis Winston rehabilitation if an offensive guy like Sean Payton isn't even willing to go there. Right? I mean, now he's been in the building with Sean Payton for essentially all this time, and they're not willing to go there with him. I mean, I was one of those idiots that thought Jameis would be chalked this week. I'm having a hard time accessing the comments. Womp womp. Okay. Hello, Earth to Jeffrey. I don't know. That's really annoying me. I can't even access the comments on my own Periscope. Nonetheless, I'll get there. Saying hi in my own chat. Okay, there it is. Yeah. So now Jameis is completely screwed. And I thought he'd be chalked this week on DraftKings. I really was crazy enough to believe $5,900, the Falcons defense, the Falcons secondary, that he would be given an opportunity to show. I mean, I was worried how much exposure one would have wanted in a world in which Taysom Hill was going to steal opportunities and touches and carries and snaps. But I still thought Jameis was going to be there and be fine. And that point spread has essentially crumbled. That point spread has crumbled. Well, crumbled's a strong definition. But backup to backup, it dropped 2 points? That can't instill any confidence in anything. So I really do not understand that decision out of New Orleans, and understand it even less to find out that he's not going to be involved in the game plan whatsoever. And I could tell you what is the most tilting thing of the day for me in golf, which I can't really complain because things aren't going too badly. But when Kevin Kisner 3-putts from 20 feet, that's when you know you should probably stop checking his score, even despite him playing well. Despite him playing well. Okay. If you sent me a question before, send it again. I finally got it going. No, it's not my first time using a computer. That was embarrassing, though. That was embarrassing. But lots of spreads have been moving in the NFL this week, and I'm on the FTN bets board. I bet the Titans at plus 6.5 just the other day. They're now down to plus 5.5. The Ravens, though, I sense are out to kill me because they killed me last week when they lost to the Patriots. Had that to tie up essentially a ton of Sunday teasers, and that went horribly wrong. I did not see that coming. And the embarrassing part is I thought that line was wrong and felt short. And here we are again. And when I recorded with Mayo, the Titans were 6.5 point underdogs. 6.5 point underdogs. And I thought they were, at least week to week, were in a much better spot to play the Ravens than the Patriots were. And I didn't really see the Titans and the Patriots as equals. But clearly on Monday morning, Vegas kind of did. So I made the Titans my super lock at that 6.5, which I'm 7-3 with on the season, mind you. But I think 1-2 in the last 3 weeks. So got off to quite a hot start there, but slowing down a little bit. But despite my overall picks record, all I really have are my things like a super lock or giving some Twitter picks. But that's all that matters. Like, those pools where you pick every game every Sunday with spreads? No gimmicks, just every game with the spread. I stopped doing them years ago. A, because I feel like I know nothing, despite I really enjoy doing it. B, I found the people that won those pools, at least the ones that I was in, it didn't matter if it was 50 people, 100 people, 1,000 person. You always hear, oh yeah, it was just like this guy's girlfriend who picked on colors or the most random things. Because that's how it works with point spreads. I don't need to tell you that. Makes everything even. So I really like the ones like the super contest or anything that just says here, pick your handful of favorite games. Because you want me to pick every game with the spread for the whole season. I don't know. I'd be happy to go 40%. That's why I don't bet every game. Try to be disciplined, especially in the NFL. That being said, golf is really winding down. And I'm quite excited that golf is ending. Relatively speaking, right? We're off next week. It's American Thanksgiving. The PGA Tour will be off. And then we are going to Mayakoba, I believe. I'm like 99% sure I'm right on that. And then we are off till about Christmas. Yeah. We're off till about Christmas, at which time, we have those, the PNC shootout, the father-son challenge. We like that stuff. I like that stuff. It's fun to see the Tigers playing in that with Charlie. Going to go up against John Daly and his son. And I forget who would have won that last year. But some of these guys can, they hit it a country mile. Langer's got a whole fleet of kids he can pick from. Sometimes he's there with his son. Sometimes he's there with his daughter. But that seems like a real fun event. And I anticipate Tiger playing in that pretty consistently. So for you Tiger schedule junkies, I think you get a December date with him from now till forever. Or maybe he's just playing it this year because of there's no hero with COVID. They eliminated his event, the Hero Challenge. I got both chats finally up and running. So if you had any questions, you could feel free and leave them in there, both on the FTN Daily and on the Twitter, which I have tweeted out, which I did have a problem starting before. But I'm there now because I learned how to use a computer. I don't know. I don't like this question. Because Bondor is asking for my favorite NFL parlay. Flip a coin 3 times. I like Tennessee. That much I know. I do like Tennessee this week. And lots of lines continue to move throughout. Carolina now finding out Teddy may play. I think Teddy's going to play. And I'm interested in Carolina this week personally, but I don't know that I would want to bet on that game. Pittsburgh and Jacksonville's at 10.5. Another game I want to just say pass on. It does feel like one of those games that Pittsburgh's certainly going to win, but they're not going to take you seriously enough. Or they're just going to beat the living tar out of you. I mean, look at how they really, really made Joe Burrow struggle. Joe Burrow's been outstanding. He really has. I don't judge rookie quarterbacks on wins. I don't do that. That's pointless. If you do, good for you. That's irrelevant. Burrow's been outstanding. And they made Burrow look like nothing. But that was at home, and that's got that AFC North feeling to it. This could be a game that feels closer to that maybe Steelers-Cowboys game we saw a few weeks ago. Just really close, but never close, but really way too freaking close. That might be the sort of outcome I could see happening in that game. Patriots, Texans, I don't know, man. I don't know what to make of this Patriots team. But I'm an idiot. And I'm not one of those people that thought they were dead forever. Forever, everyone was just waiting for them to suck and be bad. When they had Brady. I never did that. I'd always pick them. Until proven otherwise, it was always just the Patriots. Wouldn't have been shocked if something happened to a quarterback that was over 40 and a team declined quickly, because that's life in the NFL. But it never seemed to happen to them. And then I am one of those generic fools Like literally, like not that good bread that you would buy in like the bakery, like just that bagged wonder. Like I'm so generic. Last week, that lead up to the Raven game, these guys are like they're just done. They're just like done. Not in a bad way. Not to say that, they have a lot of guys sitting out with COVID. Belichick's a mastermind. They figure out a few things. They're usually so well coached, continue to be so well coached. I don't mean like done long term or that they wouldn't be able to get things right back on track with the full deck under normal circumstances, but just the way that it was playing out, done. What an effort. Houston, I mean, last week's game was almost a write-off in those wins, but since Cornell, it was a 3-point game, but it never felt close. And even if Chubb didn't go out at the 1-yard line, and I didn't have money on this game, although I know it was Mayo super lock last week and he lost it by a half point. Even if Chubb doesn't step out there, and that drive just winds the clock at the 20-yard line in midfield, whatever, who cares? I would have seen that as a bad beat because it felt like Cleveland was always in control of that game. Now I'm putting an asterisk and a disclaimer beside everything I just said, realizing I didn't really watch a ton of shit last week because I was watching the Masters. But Houston was never moving the ball in that game. Felt like other than the possession in which they scored. Who do you like more, Jacoby Myers or Sammy Watkins? How about you tell me that? Or Emmanuel Sanders? You rank those three for me, no PPR. Maybe I'll take one of your opinions. Jacoby Myers, Emmanuel Sanders, Sammy Watkins. Really excited to play Watkins this week. Because I'm in a 3 YRs, and I already have Hill, who's been great. And I'm going up against Watkins. I'm going up against Mahomes in a real big match. And I thought, wouldn't it be great to be able to roll Hill and Watkins? I mean, as long as the Raiders covered freaking Kelsey, I could really offset Mahomes' points. Which I know is stupid in and of itself, because the spot that I would be considering Watkins with, you got to just use your best option. So Myers, Emmanuel Sanders, or Sammy Watkins. And I was excited, and Watkins was leading that list, despite Myers probably being the better tout projection start this week. But now I saw he was limited in practice yesterday with a calf injury, which is separate from the injury he appeared to be healthy from that had him back on track to be playing this week, that he had missed, nearly 3-4 games for? I mean, the numbers show when Watkins is in there. Watkins is the number 2 Chiefs receiver, despite all the other bits and gimmicks and things. When Watkins is healthy, he seems to get that number 2 status. So now I don't know what to make of that. Yeah, Myers, Sanders. Taysom Hill's playing quarterback. I was kind of also potentially excited to start my Sanders in a situation where Jameis would be playing, but now it feels like I just got to start Myers. There's nothing else to think about. Yeah. I'm going to get off this right now. But I'm in 6th place in my big home league. Only 4 of us get in the playoffs, and I have the most points in the league. Maybe tied for the most, maybe like 4 less points, maybe 4 points more. It seems like I did a great job general managing this team, but made some real bad game day coaching decisions. Bad. I got you, buddy. Yeah, Massacre. Next time I'm in Carlsbad, I will hit you up and we can golf. I dream about being in Carlsbad, San Diego. I'd have probably been there right now. Around Thanksgiving, early November. Usually I'm there sometime in November, December. Um, didn't end up, did I go last year? I probably did go last year. Yeah, I like to go at least once or twice. Sorry, once every other year at least I get down there, but I think I'm pretty much go once a year. Once a year I find myself down there pretty consistently. Um, Pretty consistently. Check in on the golf. Did Streb finish? Oh, he birdied the last. Birdies every other hole today. Robert Streb. See, I'm not totally shocked. I mean, Buddy shoots a 63 today. Neesmith shot a 63 as well on the other course, the Seaside course. We'll see. We'll see. Far from over. I don't have any. I mean, Streb could win. I'm not surprised. I don't really have confidence that he's going to, though. Yeah, you put these guys on the Seaside course, I think things will get pretty interesting. I think the leaderboard is going to flip tomorrow. That being said, I don't really know where the best live options would be. What happened to Alex Noren today? Quite a disappointing day. Quite a disappointing golfer. You know who else quite a disappointing golfer? A guy I'm a really big fan of. Oh man, seemed like I don't know the exact reason why Tommy Fleetwood can't succeed, but I don't know. It's getting annoying. Guy should have torn up this place. And I didn't bet him this week. It appears that my favorite of choice was Hatton, who isn't doing much better. In fact, he has the same score as Fleetwood, but fact remains he's got some holes left. What's a cut line looking at? We're looking at a -2 projected cut. I don't believe is 2 going to hold. I don't know. I could see it getting to 3, but I'm not following it nearly as closely since we started here. Or to be honest, I wasn't following it nearly as closely as I probably should have before we started here in terms of what the active cut line was looking at. Yeah, I would say it gets to 3, just looking at it right now. But I could load up one of those fancy models that do all that math for me. But yeah, me just blind looking the numbers and the situation, I think it gets to 3, which means Webb's got to get another one coming home. And Hunter Bayhan won't be enough. Won't be enough. Some real disappointing showings, though, this week. Sungjae shooting even par. Rose shooting even par. Fitzpatrick over par. I wasn't in a position of thinking the Masters would have a negative effect on anybody. Like, yeah, it was a major, but with no fans, I didn't really think there could be that many highs and lows. I'm quite shocked none of those guys are playing well. I mean, the best player that was at Augusta last week, I'm sure someone will correct me. Well, I mean, Bernd Wiesberger was at the Masters, but does he count? I mean, he was still 80 or 100 to 1 this week. So of like a status player, Kevin Kisner's at 6 under, 3 putted from 20 feet as I was coming on here. Jason Day having a nice day, no pun intended. Kuchar, but a lot of the bigger names not getting it going. I'm quite surprised. I'm not surprised that the leaderboard is made up of those lack of quality. If you followed my picks this week, I was more in the mood to throw some darts. I just threw some real wrong ones. Don't look. Oh yeah. I got it really wrong. But I still think that leaderboard can flip. So you could bet anyone you want live. I don't have anything against it. What's up, Jepson? I would have no issues if Webb Simpson missed the cut. No worries, Andrew. Happy to be here. I feel like that was in response to me saying wins don't matter for rookie quarterbacks. Because Buddy's like, you don't because Herbert doesn't win. Neither does Joe Burrow. But they cut air. If you're looking for wins from a rookie, like that's great. That's not how you grade a rookie. Especially when the defense is playing like out of its shoes for you. And I've got all the math. I get carrier pigeons for everything here. I have carrier pigeons for freaking everything. Justin Herbert gets a haircut. 80 of you are DMing me to show me like I haven't seen it. But I make these cases. There's a lot of people that work and smarter than me that have the real hard numbers to show just how good Justin Herbert is being and just how Tua doesn't cut air. And I'm not saying Tua can't cut air. Tua can cut air. I just want to see it. And until he does, I don't know what to make of him. What do I mean by cutting air? What does that mean? These passes, air yards, over 20 yards. Completed passes where the ball travels over 20 yards. Justin Herbert has 9 touchdowns of over 20 yards. And I'm not even asking for touchdowns over 20 yards. I just want to see the plays. I see what you're seeing. There are nice things happening there. Nice little rollout, moves well, hits that tight end for 14 yards. Nice play. Nice scheme. But it's 20. If you don't cut air, what are you? Because what I do know about Tua, one thing has been quite apparent. As apparent as the winning, is this guy can't hit the corner like Burrow and Herbert. I'm no college football savant. I just assumed he could do everything because everyone wanted to tank for him. But I watched the guy with his feet, he can't hit the corner. And he throws an accurate ball. I don't hate. I like the Dolphins this week. And I'm not going to like Tim Anderson this thing. Like Tim Anderson wanted the Jets to draft Baker Mayfield. And they didn't get Baker Mayfield because he went first overall. And he had to retire the nickname Broadway Baker and subsequently pretend he hates Baker Mayfield and has turned that into a real hate. Me, on the other hand, fully acknowledge draft season, draft day. Both of you, I read the same shit. I get swayed by the same headlines as you. I wanted the Chargers to draft Tua. I would have wanted that. That would have made me happy. Why wouldn't they have jumped to go get him? And I'm not this. Trust me, they don't call me. People ask me questions about the Chargers all the time. Like, what are they thinking? Why this? Why that? Balaj. I just make the jokes. I promise you it doesn't happen. No one's calling me Sunday morning, Sunday night to ask me my opinions or to give me theirs. By that, I mean the coaches don't call me, so I don't know. I only have access to certain children of ownership who enjoy me. And listen, when you make them laugh by pointing out that Mike McCoy looks identical to Ellen DeGeneres, They like you, and they like golf, and they like me. But I'm happy I didn't send those messages Sunday. Like, you want to talk about willpower? It's when I choose not to access that file. It's when I choose not to hit send to a DM. I don't want to burn that relationship. That's just me pumping air in tires. His mind get deflated. The life gets sucked out of me. Still there to pump air in someone else's. So yeah, I wanted Tua, but it doesn't work like that. One, I don't get what I want. And two, just because ESPN says you're an icon doesn't mean you're going to be the best either. But he can win. The team's good. But I haven't seen him cut air, so I can't properly evaluate him. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, they're cutting air. That's how I'll evaluate my rookie quarterbacks. Not on wins. You know, Vince Young won a lot of games as a rookie. He won Rookie of the Year because he won a lot of games. I think they went to the playoffs. I believe the Chargers actually beat them wild card round. I believe that was the year. Yeah, I don't know. Wins games. Good team. Complete team. Complete team. That's good stuff. I mean, it's just in the math. And I do have some hard stats on it, but it'd just be too wordy. It'd be too wordy. It would be too wordy. And I don't want to even like say directly who sent this to me, but this guy loves math and he loves football and he works in Bristol and he's a nerd. And he sent me this stat that pretty much put Justin Herbert in a rookie class historically with Russell Wilson and Cam Newton in terms of what their rookie output was. And Tua's through his start, looks more like a list of quarterbacks you don't want me to name because that would be unfair. So I won't. But you go grade them on the wins. And I'm not saying that he can't win. Or sorry, that he can't cut air. I expect him to be able to cut air. I wanted the Chargers to draft him. I feel like I would have wanted the Chargers to draft a quarterback who could cut air. But until he does, I don't know what we're dealing with. Other than icon status. Fabulous skin. And a better haircut. But arm strength, athleticism, accuracy. I mean, we can give him accuracy. Really annoyed. I don't want to turn anything into picking on him because I like him. I do like him. I'm really upset now. I'm really upset. That is a Dustin Johnson I'm drinking. Thank you. Have you ever gone to the bar and said, give me a Dustin Johnson? Do you think they just would know you just want the tallest glass of water they can give you? That just means water in the tallest glass in the house. A Dustin Johnson. One day we can throw parties again. I don't know where you are. Where I am, you certainly can't. While I'm even speaking to you, I feel like my world could be getting shut down around me. Not looking forward to that. Like if they close my kid's school, which, you know, I live in one of those cities where we'll like just copy New York. We'll copy New York. We think we're cool. We're pathetic. Couldn't even have we don't have yeah. I live in a city that like thinks it's like world class, but really it's not. So we would attempt to copy New York. But yeah, next time I have a party or a gathering, I'm gonna pour everybody around a Dustin Johnson's. There's a lot of other ways you could play that joke. Like you could have a little mirror. I don't really want to expand on it anymore. You know, a little pre-drink with your buddies in Vegas before you hit the clubs. Little Dustin Johnson. Little Dustin Johnson. Served on a glass mirror. With a straw. An extra straw. A cut up extra straw. Oh God, I can't wait to make me and none of my friends laugh. Oh God. I'm such a loser. Robert Streb birdie another hole yet? Oh, I forgot he's done. Camilla Villegas to 10 under. Love it. I wish I'd bet on it. Can't bet for that. Although I believe in it. I don't want to bet on it. Sorry, I'm just selfishly going to try to find my own guys. Wyndham Clark, thank you. Kevin Kisner pissed me off. See, the difference between me and you is like the DraftKings guy is just happy for Kisner to be doing what he's doing. The outright guy demands much more. Demands much more. The outright guy, everything matters. To the DraftKings guy, as long as you make the cut, it only everything matters on Sunday. I like picking a lane. My DraftKings lineups are actually doing pretty freaking good this week. Pretty freaking good if a couple of guys can come home hard. Don't misconstrue that one bit. Don't be a pervert. Do not be a pervert. Yeah, like some of you are real perverts. Like some of the gifts and things I've seen with Justin since his haircut. Listen, everyone needs a haircut once in a while. I take that haircut to mean a couple things. How do you put this? One, he is trying to take it upon himself to like something's got to effing give here. Something's got to switch here. Like whatever it is, I'll sacrifice his beautiful hair just to change up the vibe any way possible. Despite I'm the guy the fans actually like. No one's complaining about you, but yeah, I'll be a leader and cut my hair. What does it show me? It shows me that he cares so little about anything happening in the outside world that he is so football specific. That being said, as a hair guy myself, like, come on, Justin. We do better than that here. We do better than that. I just lived through the fill-up and the bolo tie and all that. And that cut. We don't need to do it again. We don't need to do it again. And you don't need to cut your hair to try to change a vibe to save Anthony Lynn's job or anything. Just let us lose. So he can lose his job. That would work for everybody. Wouldn't it? Oh, don't worry. I just missed a call. I missed a call. I promise you it was a call from these, what do you call these? These like phone phishing things, telling me they're from like the IRS or the CRA and I owe them money. It's a lie. And they keep popping up. I don't know, what do we call them? I forget. And you can't block enough of these numbers. And the problem is the numbers that they look like kind of look like my cell phone number. I got a trade deadline coming up in my fantasy league tomorrow, and my buddy didn't answer my call because he thought it was one of those. I don't save numbers either. We just like something like that. Nonetheless, I don't even remember where I was. Herbert's hair. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't want him to be LA cool guy marrying a Kardashian, but we got to do something about that cut. We got to fix the cut. We got to care what we look like a bit. And I don't want you to care like so much that you're not getting your pipes cleaned. Because that's when we can have problems. So I hope everything's going well for Justin. I assume it is. I don't really know. How many 2021 major futures do I have? 0. You got one for me? I've got 0. Normally, I would have made them in like October, November. But with the Masters still in play, you didn't really get there. You're just kind of thinking about the Masters. So I got none. And in about a month's time, me and Mayo are going to be recording a season preview. So I should hopefully think of some for then. But I don't feel like I have to go into that with any. Right? Where are we next year? We're at Augusta. We are at Kiowa Island. We are at Torrey Pines for the U.S. Open, Kiowa for the PGA Championship. And I want to say we're just going back to Royal St. George's for the Open Championship. I'm not sure. I assume we are. If we're not going right back there, I assume we're going to go back there in the very near future. Do I strictly, hey, Zach, Zach was asking me if I strictly bet on the NFL or if I bet college football as well. I mean, truth is, if I bet on college football, it's not of my own thoughts. Like I'll use the team at FTN Bets. People that like know college football. I like betting like TV games on college football. You know, like when they got these fun programs playing in primetime on Saturday. Those are the games I like to bet, like with my own head on my own assumptions. But if I'm actually going to bet a college football game, I will use other people. And I use other people to be perfectly honest, if I'm going to make real NFL bets too. I mean, I'm a fan. I got so much bias. I like getting behind all that and asking who the math men use. That's why I'm a real proponent of ftnbets.com, promo code BOLT. You put it on the T for me, Zach. Sorry. But it's real. It's real. The guys in there are killing it. All sports. Even those draft prop tickets I saw people coming home with on the team. Crazy. So that's what I'm a fan of. That's what I'm a proponent of. But I guess it kind of depends your stakes. But to bet like real money with your own head and opinions, that's crazy to me. And this is why, from my perspective, this is sort of how I feel about it. There's so many times you win, lose a bet, but the game doesn't, like, we'll say winning a bet because that's easier. The game, you win your bet. You bet. I could just blindly try to use a game as an example, but I'll just openly, just randomly pick a team. You bet the Broncos -4. They win the game by 7-8 points. You bet the Broncos because you thought they were going to run all over whoever their opponent was. Now, that was the script. That's why you went so hard on the Broncos. You saw such an edge in that aspect of it. Broncos won your bet, won the game. You won your bet. Everyone's happy. Holy crap, the Broncos barely ran for 70 yards. They threw for 350. Whoa. Like, I just noticed that anytime I feel good about it, even when I win a bet that I'm like strongly feeling about, like rarely does the bet play out as the reason you made it. you could say that's just me and I'm not good. But I'm not bad either. I share pretty much what I do, and for the most part, it's nothing to be embarrassed about at all. I'm quite proud of like the documented bets I make in any sport. But maybe you're really good. But I just feel like when I have a real good vibe on a game, I can still win the bet. But the reason I'm making that bet isn't the reason they won the game. You know, I thought the defense was going to kill them. I thought they'd have trouble doing this and that, moving the ball. Oh, I won my bet. Oh, they won 38-33. I don't know. I mean, I bet the game because I thought it was going to be like 24-10. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. PrizePicks, prizepicks.com, promo code FTN. Use PrizePicks, get 100% instant match bonus up to $100 when using prizepicks.com. Promo code FTN. No instant match bonus, no mass multi entries. It's just you versus the projection. I always enjoy going on to PrizePicks. Moving around, it's quite an easy site to navigate. I'm always impressed by that. I'd like to get them early with some of the golf opportunities that they might have, especially with Sea Island on the weekend. I'll probably be making a cross-sport prize power play with some golf and NFL, maybe even some college football for the weekend. But I'll be getting in there. PrizePicks, prizepicks.com, promo code FTN. I have made my weekend power play for the National Football League, which almost had Jameis Winston on it, truth of the matter. I was almost going to pull the trigger on Jameis. The reason I didn't pull the trigger on Jameis was because I felt it was probably silly to take him in any sort of over situation. Although in hindsight, I wish I crushed the under. Wow, talk about a free leg of a power play. I didn't want to give up goal line snaps, red zone snaps to Taysom Hill, but I did like Jameis this week. That being said, I made a power play for the weekend with no Jameis Winston. Carson Wentz is the quarterback that I'm using this week. I believe his current PrizePicks number is 18.6. I think that game versus the Browns is going to be incredibly high scoring. Philly versus the Browns this week. Wentz, I don't know, he's just going to plop that ball around to a bunch of places. It might not look pretty. It's like a hot dog. You don't want to know how it's made, but it's going to taste good. That's what I think about Carson Wentz this week. That might not be the strongest endorsement, but that's how I'm feeling. I am not afraid of Derrick Henry. I am backing Derrick Henry this week. I believe his projection dropped to 16.5. I believe Derrick Henry, sometimes like I say in the golf world, we get a forgotten elite. And for me this week, that is, at least in the running back world, in my opinion, at least in what I believe in ownership and pricing and in the big boy games, I like the Titans this week, and I love Derrick Henry. He's going to get absolutely fed. He's going to get absolutely fed this week all throughout that game. Regardless of game script, it'll go one way through Derrick Henry. And Deontay Johnson over 14.5. Johnson is showing that he is healthy, and when healthy, he's an absolute beast. He put on a clinic last week versus the Bengals on both deep and short patterns. Has a fantastic matchup versus the Jaguars this week, who everyone saw get blown up on a couple deep situations versus the Packers last week. 21 targets in his last two games, and I believe there is quite good value on Deontay Johnson, 14.5 points. As you could tell, I really like Deontay Johnson this week because I just riffed that from something else I had recorded earlier this week, NFL content related stuff that I had done. I think Johnson is set to have a huge finish to the season. That Steeler team quite dangerous in many regards. Breaking news. Fienberg says undefeated team dangerous. So many options, but Deontay Johnson really, really stepping up now for Roethlisberger, who has begun feeding what he sees as a healthy Deontay Johnson. So I am quite smitten with Deontay Johnson this week. I'll tell you what, I believe codeine. If I did have a 5-star NFL game right now, I would be trying to double up my Rory 10-1s for the 2021 Masters. Feels so inevitable. But at the same time, it feels like such a burn. Like, why bother? Why bother? I feel like there's a little munchkin trying to get into my room. So we're going to wrap up here in a minute. How did I meet Mayo? That's a story for another time. That's private. That's private. There is a munchkin trying to get in this room. And on that note, I think we're going to wrap this one up. I had fun with you guys. Another Friday afternoon here at ftndaily.com, presented by Prize Picks. Use the promo code FTN for 100% instant match bonus. Have fun making the multi-sport power plays. I have the most fun putting those together through the course of the weekend. Someone wants to be a guest on the show if they could figure out how to jimmy a door, and if I give them any more time, they're gonna do it. Please keep the children in school. I'm out. Have a great weekend, friends.